Eat for Chai. Welcome to the world's slowest race. I think we're ready. Started it with David Eggert back in 2009 when he did his first ride, and then 2010 when we decided to start Bike4Chai as the first year of Bike4Chai. Yeah, I've been doing it from the beginning.
What's the strangest request you've ever gotten?
I've gotten requests to make sure that I have Puff Plus toilet paper in their room. I've gotten requests for personal things of chamois butter. Somebody actually called the hotline the night of Bike4Chai and asked to have a beer delivered to the hot tub.
That actually wasn't the call. The call was the emergency line saying that there was an emergency. We ran out of beer in the hot tub.
And then the next year, somehow they ended up with a lot of beer in their bags.
Correct.
I didn't get a thank you.
Who says nobody pays attention to the room comments? Thank you, Yoel.
I didn't get a thank you. I had people ask me to be in touch with Cliff Bar and get them to become Chalav Yisrael. The truth of the matter is, the funny part is that the requests that I've gotten from a long time ago, a lot of them became my standard. Meaning we had requests originally to transport the cars, which when we first started I thought was insane, but now it's my standard. I transport cars. We had requests for massage. Now we give massage. So with the help of some friends, we put together some interesting statistics. We're using this data that we culled from Strava. It comes out that on Bike4Chai day one, we climbed 3.7 million vertical feet of elevation on day one, and on day two, 3.3 million feet of vertical elevation. The average rider actually finished all of the miles, all 180 miles, and the average speed on day one comes out to be 16.5 miles per hour.
One eternity later.
Whereas on day two, it was 15.5 miles per hour. When we did a little research to figure out what that difference was, why is it that day two is a little slower, we figured it had something to do with the fact that guys were consuming close to triple the amount of calories that they were supposed to that night in the hotel. Going through all the pictures, which is only about like 13,000 pictures online just from this year alone, we come out with the fact that about 86% of the riders held their bikes over their head at some point on the ride. Going through our logs from the command center, about 8% of riders actually needed SAG, but 38% of riders used SAG. I don't know how many calories were consumed by SAG. We ordered over 8,000 packets, individual packets of chamois butter. Now we got none of it back, which means either each guy used 15 packets of chamois butter, or a lot of guys went home with some extra. Okay, here's another fun fact. We know that Bike4Chai is a massive fundraiser, raising $8.4 million this year. Some guys raising from $5,000 to Ralph Hertzker raising well over $1 million. That means that if you divide that by the 180 miles that you guys were riding, some guys were raising $20 a mile, and Ralph was raising $5,772 per mile. But it averages out, and we're talking about $99 per mile that you guys were riding, we were collecting for Chai Lifeline and for the kids.
For kids?
Going back to the mileage to find out that most people actually finish the ride with an average distance of 109 miles per person on day one and an average of 71.5 miles per day two. I think that's pretty impressive. A lot of you guys just left your Garmin's on while you were in the SAG cars, or you actually rode.
I had an interesting statistic. What was 2017's Bike4Chai different for Yossi Axelrod than the previous 3 times that I've done it?
He actually rode. The average moving time per rider was 6 hours and 44 minutes. This is on day one. The average distance per rider was 109.9, so the 110 miles, which makes sense. The average elevation per rider, 6,868 feet. The average speed per rider was 16.5 miles per hour. The average top speed was 40 miles an hour. Average heart rate was 146. Average max heart rate was 176. Average heart rate for the rider on day one was 146 beats per minute. On day two, the average is only 133. So we looked into it a little bit, and it comes out that scientifically speaking, the crazy Herzog wine party that we had the night before, Just saying. Fundraising statistics, again, because ultimately Bike4Chai is a fundraiser. 2016, we raised 6.9 million. In 2017, we raised 8.4 million. That averages out per rider in 2016 to a little less than $15,000 per rider. On 2017, that averages over $17,000 per rider. Very, very impressive. Another thing, teams. Teams have grown. We had 86 team members in 2016. In 2017, we had 166 team members. Also, interestingly, team members account for almost 60% of the money raised on Bike4Chai, which is a significant number when you're talking about $8.4 million.
Hey guys, I got my jersey back from Yoel, and I'm wearing his cap, so good luck with the lice, Yoel. Thank you for shrinking the jersey, because this clearly fit well before, but he's over here though. Now he's over there. I got Yoel's phone. He's going back into the WhatsApp group that he left after he got banned from Lakewood for being in the WhatsApp group with the guys. How you doing?
Negative riders.
Total number of pledges this year, and when I say pledges, I don't mean people who pledge money and don't pay. I mean the people. I mean people who pledge money and pay their money. The total number of donations that came into Bike4Chai this year was 21,682 separate donations. Averages out to about 45 donations per person. That means with 525 riders, we're averaging 45 donations per rider. Means that the guy in your shul has been asked 19 different times for the same donation just for Bike4Chai. So why is it that we consumed more calories on day 2 than you possibly were able to burn on day 1 and day 2 combined? Eat for Chai. Welcome to the world's slowest race. We had that mandatory safety call, and I went through the data to see who was on the call and how long they stayed on the call. The average call-in was only 4 minutes and 32 seconds, which explains why so many people needed SAG.
Yoel, I got it. Don't worry. I'm not going to embarrass you. I got it. All of you at Bike4Chai have got me so motivated this year, so motivated to do it, and I'm going to do it. That's right. Work hard to eat harder. I will be at pasta night. This is amazing.
Thanks for taking the time tonight, listening to everything that we have, all the information that we put together, and having...
How'd you get in here?
From Eat4Chai, the world's slowest race, welcome to the GCN show!